Good evening, everybody. So I want to start out tonight asking you all a question on a lot of stuff has been coming out in the news cycle, such as the president is possibly going under impeachment proceedings. There's an investigation that's been opened up into that. There's students walking out of classrooms for climate strikes, and they're banning flavored Juul pods. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on. And I want to know how many of you have a conviction on any of those issues. And now I also want all of you who raised your hand to say what led you to that conviction? Why do you believe that? Was it through a news article that came through your phone that you saw for a split second while you were on your way to class? Was it because one of your friends who had a very specific agenda or political leaning, they told you about it? A lot of times today, we get so much information so quickly because we have so much more access to knowledge that we don't know how to challenge new opinions and how to make our convictions solid and based off of fact. And in this book, Factulness, by Hans Rosling, he provides a 3-step guide through 3 of the main themes of the book on how you can achieve factfulness, which is the title of the book, in all of your convictions. And so starting off that is skepticism. Now, I want all of you to leave tonight, if you can just do one of these steps, is to be skeptical when you hear something. When you hear a new news article, I don't care if it backs up something that you believe 110%. If you believe in global warming and you see a new article that comes out and it says, hey, did you know that if you use aluminum cans versus tin cans, that's going to increase CO2 emissions? And you go, oh, yes, totally. I want that to stop. I want you to look at that article and say, well, who said that? What's that based off of? What are all of the statistics? If you really believe that, then you should want to make sure your convictions are based on solid fact. And so, after you, now that you're skeptical and you're asking questions on things, I would like to ask all of the Democratic affiliated people in the room to ask themselves, with the impeachment proceedings continuing, are you excited that the president might be impeached? And I want you to think about it and answer why he shouldn't be impeached. Because there are reasons, and other people have those reasons. And before I get to that, I want to give you a second challenge, besides just being skeptical. I want you to go up to someone who's also with the same affiliation and ask them, hey, do you really think we should impeach the president? I guarantee you will get a huge reaction out of it. And I could ask the same, but switched, for my Republican friends. And so, when I say that there's right and wrong on both sides, because both people you ask are going to get upset. And that's because of perspective, which is the second theme of the book. And you need to look at things through a different perspective if you really want to gain a solid foundation on an issue. And that can be through another person's perspective, another group, another religion. It can even be through a historical lens or a fictional lens. Anything you can think of, just look at it in a different way that it's not you and it takes you out of the equation. So, I know that this upcoming Friday, there's supposed to be a continuation of the climate strikes that have been going on with a lot of students. And so I know, as an individual who lives in a university in the United States who's an environmental science major, I'm very supportive of that. But at the same time, I can also say, oh, well, I mean, aren't all those students like drive to a city, which is going to be CO2 emissions from their cars, they're probably going to go get Starbucks or something while they're there, there's a bunch of plastic waste. Is that really better for everybody? And as I say that, I can feel all the tension in the room of, oh my gosh, no, that's totally wrong. You hate the environment, you're terrible. No, I love the environment. I want to go save the oceans one day. But by saying that and getting that type of reaction, it shows that people have this tendency to, because of their perspective of one thing is right, so the other thing must be wrong. If I just said that, because of our skepticism, where we can ask questions on anything, you should be okay with saying, oh, yes or no. And even if you agree, yeah, that's probably it, it doesn't mean that the climate strikes aren't helpful in any way. All it means is, oh, yeah, I never thought of that. That is a correct assumption. It doesn't mean that climate change isn't real. It doesn't mean that climate change activism is bad. And that's because you looked through a different perspective. And you saw it through not just yourself of this is right, this is wrong. And it really is helpful sometimes. And so the third thing is optimism. And so when you look at all of this together, a lot of times what you find is things that seem like they're very divisive, like Republican, Democrat. You could be religious versus atheist, red versus blue, anything you can think of. And a lot of times it's painted in our minds as rich all the way over here, poor all the way over here. Republican all the way, Democrat over here. And so what ends up happening is it's all in the middle. And there's very far extremes on either side that are making a lot of the noise. But so when you see how close everything is and how everything isn't as different and how things are improving, it can lead to a sense of optimism. And that optimism doesn't just help enforce factfulness, it makes your convictions stronger because you know that they're based in fact. And you feel good about those convictions rather than just saying, oh yeah, I read this article, it said this. You know, based off of the questions that you asked, you knew that you were in that person's shoes. You've seen their perspective of when they ask questions to, oh, is that valid? You know that perspective. And then whether you change their mind or not, you know that your convictions are true. And that should lead to your optimism. I want to thank you for giving me your time tonight.